Hello and welcome to August 30th Alpha's KR 294. And also notice that Stochastics has moved up from a -6.8 to -6.2, and SPY also moved up from 21.1 to 21.6. And let's go look at that chart right there. Oops, no, there it is. There's the chart, KR. Okay, you got the numbers for Stochastics and SPY. All right, moving on, KR. This is the important part. We are edging upward, and we had to close above the 10 EMA on Friday. Now we got it. Now it's enhanced, and it's ready to now start bumping up against the upper price channel. So that would be a very good possible strong indication, pardon me, that we just might be getting back to our 334 high that we had here. 334% was here back on August 20th. That said, there isn't much to do, but the only time we're going to move we might move the stop to the 10th ratio if we get way up here in the $50 zone. $50 or more, because remember, this is a DTE, date to expiration trade, and we don't want to contaminate the trade by getting out too early before the expiration, which is in October, and that is still a month and a half away. Okay, that said, that takes us on to PG, and here at PG, we are starting to get a little bit of a climb up. That's good. So there it is. We didn't close above, but we are getting a small, tiny hammer. Nothing of real significant consequence, but to get the excuse me, the RSI and the stochastics are starting to go up, and we have a green on the histogram after a series of red histograms. We're now in green histogram, and we're 1.46 is our it's almost $1.50 ATR. With that completed, our high was here on this close on again August 20th. So that is it for that. So now we go on to XLC. XLC is running 38%. It did clear its oh, look at this. Did it clear the gantry? 84, 84, 40. 84.42, we have cleared the gantry. We have cleared the first ratio. Now remember, that's our rules now for DTE trading. Once it clears that first ratio, then we're going to leave it alone. But the whole idea is that if this does not continue climbing, then we'll get out with some kind of profit, rebuild back to the buying power on the buying power, and also reduce. Now also note that this XLC only owes $117. And we're at 125, so this would be a red sweater exit, which means that it had one back owed XLC 11, and what XLC is a TTF for the advertising and media, and the 11 means that we made an attempt to do a trade, and the trade went against us, and because it was against a dead loss leader. The dead loss leader cannot accumulate any more lost O's. So the owed is then created as a separate entity, and that's how we get XLC11. So that's all we have to do, just get that 117, and that does count as one of the lost leaders on my lost leaders list. So the lost leaders list is approximately 45. So anytime that we have these losses from an attempt to going back a dead loss leader, in other words, when do we lost money on, and the stock is no longer available, or I transferred the O to it to something else, it's just more likelihood of winning it back. And so there's 10 more of these besides Mr. Number 11. All right, that said, we did have an exit, unfortunately, today on Monster. Go ahead and take a look at Monster. And here at Monster, this was a put, and the put did not go with us. Remember, the market is geared up 70% of the time. So these puts in a up market are really almost very chancy. But if we start picking and choosing what the scanner gives us, we might not pick correctly. We might pick the wrong, and that becomes the winner. And we might pick a right one, and then it becomes the loser, which is happening here with Monster. So what happened on Monster, we lost $62. We lost 15.9% in 4 days, which is not bad. See, it was a very nice tight range. That's good. That goes into risk management. $62. $2 in fees, 64 loss. Had a carry of 1001. Now we have a new loss of 1065, and that takes care of Monster. So that gives us some buying power. Now, notice when you come back over. Oh, and before we go to something new, I need to point out YELP. YELP is still slowly climbing up. It is. We got a red candle today, but it is a higher low, and it's almost formed a little dip right in here. It's a little dip right there. So well, we'll see how that will be turning up, but it is starting to gain ground, and this is a November. We have till November on this one, so that's the lower lows that are going up. Telray, of course, is going to have its own video when we get to it. So we need to point out something else here. When we drew the drop down here on Thinkorswim, and you go to positions, and you see a position like McDonald's. McDonald's is here on the position list, but it's not in the trade list. So you go like, well, what happened? Well, what happened was this order never triggered. Now, another way of finding it out if it didn't trigger is you come here to activities and positions, click here, and there it is. McDonald's never triggered. So that said, let's go to McDonald's and see what happened. So McDonald's right here, and there it is. McDonald's was set up on 816 and it didn't trigger. And this is a stochastic. So technically I made an error by not going back and changing my position and closing out this trade, getting back that buying power. But we are going to do it now. So let's go ahead and do that. So to turn on we have a way of doing, we can come here, and I believe we can close it here. Yes, cancel order right there. I can go cancel order here at the activities and positions. So that's one way to do it. My favorite way of doing it, because I don't like losing my account position area. I'll go to the chart settings with the little gear, and then I go to show orders, and I'll click on the show orders, come down to apply, hit OK, and now your show orders are showing up on the chart. And now, remember that little X I told you about? Not to do. When you want your real estate, you still don't want to, you don't want to cancel the order, you go through the chart settings. You want to cancel the order, you cancel the order. But when you cancel the order, don't cancel the order on the sell because the buy will still be in place. You need to cancel the buy, which will automatically cancel out the sell. And we just cancel out the McDonald's order. Done. Come here to notes, also to note that if it shows up in your other area, note order canceled because STO trade failed to trigger. And now we know. Okay, that took our buying power now back to 663. So that does take us to scanner time. So here at scanner time, we go. I like to go and start with a certain sequence and work my way up. So stochastic subtrend, and it's defaulted to the objectional because of the forward testing. So we have to come here and change the category to our personal list, which is alphas. We also got to change the condition down because the alphas have a wide range of stock, and some stock that has very low volume. Mistake on my part when I started this. And now we can go ahead and scan. And now we'll scan, and for the upside, and we have two, XLP and CVS. So we'll be looking at those two to continue. Well, that is it. We are time's up today. I thank you very much for stopping by, KR294, and catch you on the next video for Telray. Bye-bye.